injured here. 1v1, Green Tooth Gorge, blue side is PaperBaG, as the Imperial Guard Inquisitor offensive commander fights melee or range depending on what weapon you give her. Doesn't support her troops very much but has lots of snares. Red side is Arzamas as the Plague Champion defensive commander, though he can support and do some pretty nasty damage over time too. Fights in range by default with his Plague Bolter. 3 VPs as always, running east to west on this map. This one being natural for PaperBaG since it's on his side. One in the centre and one natural on the east for Arzamas. Chaos Space Marines hit in the field for him, heavy ranged infantry. Decent in melee though. We have the Sentinel trying to force off these heretics. We'll probably stomp them. There it is. Taking a lot of damage from the CSM though. Sentinel is a tier 1 vehicle that can decap points but cannot cap them. Has heavy armor, so small arms fire does damage it, as you can see from the Chaos Space Marines bolters. Guardsmen come to repair. Double guardsman build from PaperBaG. Pretty much a standard opening for IG, Sentinel and 2 guardsmen. Dual CSM for Arzamas. Bit of a commander fight on the west side. Plague Champion forcing off the Inquisitor. He can try and cap now. Pretty nice map. You have these buildings covering the VP. Also covering the power here. This power does not have a building covering it. CSM getting low, might lose a member here. CSM of course should be engaging guardsmen in melee at every opportunity. They are now being healed by the Nurgle worship, which heals infantry, though it's different from Khorne and Tzeentch worship in that it doesn't affect vehicles or demons in any other secondary way. Its secondary effect is that it heals infantry. Chaos Space Marines a bit too low to go engaging in melee, I think. The second CSM squad hits the field. Nurgle worship healing up both of these squads. Such a great utility in tier 1. Havocs are on the field but they're not moving. These CSM are stomped. Sentinel being double repaired. Very aggressive opening here from PaperBaG, pinning Arzamas back. He is capping a rep point with the Plague Champion. Inquisitor busy capping on the west side. A Guardsman squad goes down to Chaos Space Marine melee. That's how dangerous the melee of Chaos Space Marines can be against someone like IG. Also against Eldar Guardians and Termagants, they really tear through them. Heavy weapon squad hits the field, sorry. Setup team with a heavy bolter. As are the Havocs, pretty much regarded as the best suppression setup team since they suppress instantly from long range, though they have lower damage. CSM trying to decap this power. Full gen from PaperBaG. 2 gens from Arzamas. Hammer of the Witches on the Plague Champion, stunning him. Also Holy Pyre going off from the Holy Brazier, giving her a power melee weapon. Very useful against double CSM. She's just going to kite away. She's taking damage over the time from the Plague Bolter, making her stink. Sentinel forces off the CSM. Heretics just hanging around here to heal stuff up. Could be used much more aggressively to melee guardsmen, though I suppose the Sentinel will just stop them then. Sentinel is on the west side now, scaring off the Plague Champion. He can shoot it with little care from this building, though he does get out and retreat. Heretics and Havoc working on this power node. CSM idle. Holy Brazier will be nasty in melee against the CSM. They lose a member in retreat. Retreating units, of course, take more damage from melee attacks, 30% more. Decapping this power. More guardsmen on the way for PaperBaG. Sentinel decap the center but cannot cap it, so it's just standing there. Here comes the Inquisitor though to cap. 348 plays 500. Arzamas yet to lose a VP. She doesn't cap the center, in fact. Goes to try and dislodge this Havoc squad, which is going to be in trouble. It doesn't have time to set up and will be caught in melee by a power weapon. CSM come to help out, as do Heretics. Deciding to kite. They are far enough away to retreat now, but they don't. What is he trying to do? Havoc's going to lose members here. They are down to one member. I might lose the squad here. This is going to be a huge mistake. There goes Holy Pyre. Decides not to chase the Havocs. Was that a mistake? Almost wipes the Heretics and does take out the Havoc. Fantastic engagement for PaperBaG. Arzamas. Disaster. Losing a ton of Heretics. 6 in fact, and the Havoc squad. These Chaos Space Marines are a bit low. Inquisitor though is busy capping center. Plague Bolter is bad news for the Sentinel. Chaos Space Marines retreating all the way back to base. Quite a small map though. Tier 2 for Arzamas. PaperBaG is already there, getting a Chimera. The Plague Champion has lots of war gear and global abilities that are very, very nasty to Imperial Guard. The Chimera will help PaperBaG avoid some of the nastiness, namely the Noxious Cloud global ability and Touch of Nurgle if he wishes, but he doesn't seem to be using the Heretics offensively very much. Here comes the Inquisitor. She's going to be forced off here. There goes Holy Pyre, stopping the Heretics from engaging her, but she is forced off. Arzamas' stuff, take no losses. Chaos Space Marines forced off this Western VP. We have Plasmas on the Guardsmen. One squad anyway, so they're going to be pretty nasty against CSM. Especially if they get their Commissar. Maybe dual Corn CSM would be a good idea, so they can just run in and melee the hell out of Guardsmen. Also do soft anti-vehicle damage to a Chimera. We'll see. He does need AV though. Gets another Havoc squad, perhaps for a las cannon. He might have only just seen the Chimera. This is maybe a dead CSM with Markov Zinch. That'll be a huge loss, but they do get away. Not sure if spending resources on Markov Zinch at this juncture was a good idea. It will make short work of the Sentinel, yes, but so will double CSM with their aspiring champion. They can't do anything to this Chimera, but this las cannon can. No, it's got the auto cannon. Does pretty good damage to the Chimera, but it doesn't snare it like a las cannon would, and it can just back out. Do pretty good damage to all targets, the auto cannon, with a small AoE. Sentinel tickling that power node will eventually destroy it, I suppose. Plague Champion coming to do the west side, getting his Bile Spewer. Must be planning a power bash. Surprised we don't see Icon of Nurgle or Blight Grenades. I suppose the Guardsmen could just avoid such things by getting in a Chimera. Bile Spewer hits the field on the Plague Champion. He is going for a power bash. Bile Spewer making short work of buildings. Here comes the Chimera though. East side has Guardsmen and Sentinel against worshipped CSM. Autocannon Havoc not helping out. Guardsmen losing members. need to retreat. PaperBaG must have his attention elsewhere, over here probably. CSM in melee with the Inquisitor with her Holy Praise is not a good idea. Has her Mandate, also very popular accessory for her. Plague Champion is going to go down in retreat. Forced to retreat by the Chimera, finished off by the Inquisitor. Guardsmen go down in the end to chasing Tzeentch CSM. Ogren's on the field for PaperBaG. This is incredibly bad news for Arzamas. Very strong melee infantry. Surprisingly quick also, high damage versus all targets. Arzamas does not have suppression on the field to slow them down. Autocannons do not suppress. We see Nurgle worship used at base to speed up the regen of this stuff even more. Commonly used tactic for Plague Champion players. Second CSM squad also going for Mark of Tzeentch. Would be better spent saving up for Bloodletters, I think. Or Plague Marines. The CSM forced off. Do not have their aspiring champion. Ogryns are in the fight. There's a Hellfury strike also. Global ability of the Inquisitors. Just too much stuff there for the Ogryns to deal with. And they are forced off with no losses. They have their bonehead leader at the front there. Heavy Weapon Squad set up right in the face of these heretics. Touch of Nurgle used 3 times there. A waste of global resource in my opinion. Forcing off the Heavy Weapon Squad wasn't that big of a deal. Tzeentch Marines getting rear armor hits on this Chimera, but it doesn't matter. Guardsmen get out so they can shoot these Havocs right in the face. It resets up. CSM coming in from the east to help out. Bow Spear will do nothing against the Chimera. So we do have Guardsmen dropping out of it. Huge map control for PaperBaG. Guardsmen get out to engage the CSM. 348 plays 258, still very close. Manticore hitting the field for PaperBaG. Artillery unit with incredible range. Here it is. Not much Arzamas can do to counter it. Plague Marines are on the way though. Takes them an age to get anywhere. Plague Champion incidentally has been repurchased, as you can see. Inquisitor caps center, or decaps rather. Ogren's chasing off CSM. Heretics will be used to suppress them, I think. They are still level 1. No, decides not to. Just using Tzeentch Inferno Bolters from range. These heretics should be worshipping. Here's a Manticore strike on this blob. This could be nasty. Havoc's almost wiped. Everything else got away scot-free pretty much. Plague Marines hit the field. Anti-vehicle unit very, very slow, forcing melee on his Ogryns. Ogryns forced off with 2 members, might lose another. Plague Marine bolters do damage over time. 42 hit points should be okay. Just. CSM decapping this fully matured rep point, very annoying. They pay for it with a member loss. Hammer of the Witches doesn't take out another member. 348 plays 199. PaperBaG has the advantage here. Ogryns need to be supported though. Every time he sent them in, it's been on their own. CSM taking east. Plague Marine stalking the Chimera. Can they get a shot off? No. Plague Marine missiles are unique in that they snare vehicles that they hit, like a las cannon would. Guardsmen are in reinforcement range of the Chimera. Chimera is backing off though, wary of the Plague Marines. CSM get away with 1 model. He's dealt with the CSM very well in this match. PaperBaG. Bow Spear used to denode his own power. This wreck point has been decapped also. Huge tech advantage for PaperBaG. He goes tier 3. Manticore strike on the central VP. Plague Marines get a couple of direct hits, lose no members. That's how tough they are. 2000 HP, and look at the insane HP regeneration they have. Inquisitor getting Inferno bolts to her face. She shrugs them off and caps. Here comes another CSM though. Just gets away. Triple cap for PaperBaG. It's his game to lose. It has huge map control. Look at the map. Arzamas has a wreck point and power, and that is it. Getting the central VP here at Ogrins though. Touch of Nurgle. Knocking back and damaging the Ogrins and healing surrounding infantry. That's a global ability for the Plague Champion. Manticore strike. Manticore used to good effect in this game. Sometimes you see it wasted where more battlefield presence would be better. Nurgle worship can heal up these Plague Marines. Look at the health regen now with the Nurgle worship. Absolutely crazy. Blood Crusher hitting the field for Arzamas. Not sure about that. If he gets caught in melee to Ogrins, it's going to die very quickly. Suppose he's a bit wreck starved. Not much else he could get. Plague Champion forced off. He has lots of power. Could have saved for a Dreadnought. With the Mark of Khorne and Blood Rage would tear through Ogrins. Plague Champion goes down in retreat. Inquisitor's hugely outnumbered here. Uses her Purgatus to stun all of this stuff. Her Inquisitorial mandate goes up, rendering her invulnerable and boosting her speed. Look how quick she is. She levels up. Here comes the Blood Crusher though, forcing her off. Heavy Weapon Squad in this building, able to hit those Plague Marines. Plague Marines though, unique amongst infantry in that their refire rate is not affected when they are suppressed. Arzamas has done a good job rebuilding his forces. Has a 2-0 cap now, 232 plays 100. Blood Crusher coming to make himself a nuisance in enemy territory. Does not want to get a melee of Ogrins. What is he doing? Stormtroopers with anti-vehicle kit not doing anything. Now they decloak. Blood Crusher dies very, very quickly. Not sure what Arzamas was thinking there. Ogrins murder Blood Crushers 1v1. And are big trouble for pretty much any walker really. Siege Marines take the building, taking out an Ogrin squad. They all need to retreat here. No, they decide to melee the CSM, taking damage over time from the Plague Marines. Chimera, such a huge nuisance for Arzamas, he just couldn't deal with it. That's the story of this game pretty much. Could not take out the Chimera in this game. Ogrin's forced off. Here come the Plague Marines. Might be able to get a rear armor hit or two. There's one, doesn't hit rear armor. Has snared the Chimera now, but Plague Marines are so slow. Chimera could still get away. They'll get another missile. Purgatus goes off but doesn't stun the Plague Marine that has the missile. One of them dies, exploding. 179 plays 100, 2-1 cap for Arzamas. Getting close. More heretics on the way. Not sure what PaperBaG is doing, not getting this Chimera out of there. It's gonna die. It does. That's a huge loss for PaperBaG. Cannot protect his guardsmen now. They get away with 5 members with 55 health between them. Unbelievable. Stormtroopers on the field. PaperBaG floating a crap ton of resources. Anti-armor kit almost always purchased for Stormtroopers. Anti-infantry kit needs to be looked at, I think. PaperBaG obviously saving for a Baneblade. Army looking a little thinner. His heavy weapon squad went down, I didn't see that. Perhaps a noxious cloud did it, or it might have just been the bile spewer and PaperBaG wasn't paying attention. I missed that, sorry. Stormtroopers capping east. More heretics on the field to worship. Can't believe Arzamas lost that Blood Crusher so foolishly. Here come double CSM to force off these stormtroopers. They infiltrate. CSM can now recap the east. Ogryn's capping the west. They have a new Ogryn member ready to come in, but they need to get back to base to get him. Something is in here. It's the Plague Champion. Not sure what he's doing. Waiting for the Ogrys to leave so he can recap, I assume. Purgatus goes off, stunning all of this stuff. You see the ring of embers. Inquisitor's in trouble though. Heretics decide not to engage her, instead going after these guardsmen. There's touch of Nurgle. This might be a dead guardsman squad. Yes. Another touch of Nurgle. Touch of Nurgle used like crazy by Arzamas in this game. Now has a decent amount of resources. Over 400 power, over 400 wreck. Could go tier 3 if you wanted. PaperBaG getting a Baneblade. He must be expecting it surely. PaperBaG hasn't purchased another unit requiring power for a while. Maybe double Plague Marines or Plague Marines with a Bloodletter I think would be better, since Plague Marines could just get shot to pieces by a Baneblade. They are tough, but they can't take Demolisher Cannons to the face. 104 plays 79, 2-1 cap for PaperBaG. It's very close. Anti-Gore Strike gets one solid hit on this CSM. Inquisitorial Mandate used to boost the speed of the Inquisitor so she can get into melee range. But Holy Brazier, very bad news for the CSM. They get the building without taking loss. Here's Holy Pyre though. Ogryns take centre, vastly outnumbered. Will they care? I don't think so. Use your red, popped, meaning they disrupt a load of stuff. They're in trouble though. Are they going to wipe these heretics? They are. Heretics without an aspiring champion, and they get away with... No, they don't. Just. Ogryns retreat with 2 members. They did manage to cap. Plague Champion coming to the east side. Lost the indicator for him. Plague Marines in melee with the Inquisitor. These CSM should get out of that building so they can shoot at her, and they do. Plague Marines very close to going down here. Down to 250 health thereabouts. Holy Pyre going off on the CSM. Baneblade is on the field, super heavy tank. Comes to the centre and scares off everything. I assume a massive tank shot was involved. 104 plays 10. Arzamas on the ropes, trying desperately to cap this west side. Plague Marines down to a single member, has over 300 health though, and starts to cap. Plague Champion camping on the east side. 2-1 cap soon enough for Arzamas. More Ogryns on the way, double Ogryns and a Baneblade. That's a tough call to deal with in 1v1. Heretics coming to bolster this side. They can engage Stormtroopers in melee. Doom Blast for no apparent reason. And run away. Baneblade sitting centre. Calcipation is back on the field with very low health. One good tank shot would wipe them. Second Ogryn squad hits the field. This is very bad news for Arzamas. 86 plays 10. 2-1 cap for Arzamas still. Holy Fire goes off to deter these heretics. There's Purgatus as well. Touch of Nurgle knocking back the Inquisitor. Pretty good usage of that ability in this game. In some instances, Stormtroopers completely wiped from the battlefield by a touch of Nurgle. Inferno Bolters on the Inquisitor and Heretics and a single Plague Marine. East is being taken by Ogryn's autocannon, can't even scare them off. bloodletters hitting the field for Arzamas. Inquisitor goes down, 64 plays 10. Ogrins, will they engage or try to cap? They will stand completely still and do nothing. Lapse of concentration from PaperBaG. They do get their Bonehead leader, decide to finally cap. Baneblade was being micro tank shot, and now a Hell Fury. There's the Demolisher Cannon. Ouch, that's a lot of dead stuff. Each Chaos Space Marines have a single member each. 64 plays 5. This is PaperBaG's game, surely. And that's a concede by Arzamas. 64-3 in the end. Very close. Arzamas did pretty well, I think, to come back after that Havoc and Heretics losses. Nice shot off the Baneblade, heavy bolter and stuff in the face. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time, and stick around for the stats.